Most church officials are saying that in 60 years, if nothing is done to stem this Christian exodus, then Christianity will disappear from the very place where Christ founded his church. And all we're going to have are empty religious monuments and museums and no living worshiping community. And that is why the Franciscan Foundation is the first Catholic organization to take up that challenge, to let the people in the United States know what is happening and to ask for their support.
Well, the Christians are certainly a radical minority now and becoming increasingly so, as they're pushed out by everybody. That I think that's to the detriment of the Middle East. It seems to me that as we look at this eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth, that's kind of a universal sense of justice, that we have watched that at work in the Middle East for a very long time. And you have a real lack of charity, as you strive to find some kind of justice in the whole situation. It's not going to happen. Israel's already extended the wall over into Palestinian territory. They're cutting villages in two, and they're cutting the famous case of the monastery where they cut the monastery off from its orchard. I mean, what's going to stop anything like that? What's going to stop in any kind of reconciling presence between two people who are in conflict? When you have two people in conflict whose sense of justice is getting even or taking advantage, where are you going to end up? Just more of the same. So in my mind, anyway, the presence of Christianity in the Middle East is an essential piece of any kind of lasting, peaceful solution to the conflict over there.
The principal answer or solution to the situation here of securing economic stability is that our Christians should have a college education.
I was wishing to go to university, but economically and financially, it's not very easy to go and study whatever you want in a country like this. And it was very hard for me to decide where and what to do.
We have raised their dignity. They were, before going to school, they were struggling both economically, they were struggling both politically, and these young people are now very proud and thankful for the many American Christians, Catholics, who gave them an opportunity to secure an education. They're the guardians of Christianity. They've been here for 2,000 years, and they're disappearing. And if we don't have a sense of who we are as Christians, if we don't have a sense of our religious roots and heritage, my question then is, how can we call ourselves Christians? Our church is dying. It needs to be rebuilt. And the only way it's going to be rebuilt is by telling our brothers and sisters of this great family of Christianity what has happened to their brothers and sisters in the Holy Land. And somehow, some way, we will become their voice, we will become their platform, and we will become their lobby.
When we first came back, we had this radiance about us that we just felt like we were on fire.
And Judy said to me, well, we have to do something. I said, yeah, you're right. Maybe I can send a few dollars or something like that. But what it really amounts to is we had to carry the word of the plight of the Christians in the Holy Land.
We started a fundraiser. This would have been June when we met our first time, and we had our first fundraiser then in September at a hotel in Dublin. And hence Cradling Christianity was born.
We then got to the point where we've reached a high level of 280, 300, 325 people attending our dinners. We quickly started raising money to the tune of now we're up over $500,000. And this is money that 100% goes to the foundation for education, for all the needs of the Christians in the Holy Land.
The monetary challenges were not insurmountable by our standards. And to realize that for $50 a month, a Christian family could be fed. $100 a month, I recall Father Peter saying, provides the basic utilities of water and heating and so forth. A $500 contribution provides education for an elementary student for a full year. And then, of course, it's manageable to send the children, the youngsters, to college. And so when you educate them, they're going to be able to find hopefully some jobs. And it was exciting to hear Father Peter say that the majority of the young who go to college and get an education, have housing, remain in the Holy Land because that's where they want to stay, the roots of their faith.
The cost to support a Christian in the Holy Land and to send them to college is minimal by comparison. It's just incredible to be able to give someone that opportunity. In giving them the opportunity for education, you give them the opportunity to be able to stay there.
Here in Columbus, there are many, many worthwhile sources or places that we can place our money. We can help a lot of people. We can help the poor. But this is a different plight. This is a plight of the Christians.
And the turmoil in the Middle East certainly is responsible for all sorts of things all over the world. To resolve that is to resolve a fundamental human problem. Anything that makes it possible for Christians to live and to stay in the Holy Land, in the Middle East, is a contribution to humanity, because it's a contribution to a presence that represents a way of solving a problem. And every Catholic has the obligation to encourage the universal mission of the Church. And if someone is drawn particularly to do that in the Middle East, that's exceptionally virtuous, I think.
After I had the scholarship, everything was changed, and I started looking at my life. I started realizing where I'm going, and I draw my my track, and I'm following it right now, and I'm supporting it right now, and I want to continue with it. It's very emotional right now. Nobody can describe how hard it is to stay in such a country, and nobody can describe how I feel, because if you just gave me a paper and a pen, I would write you exactly what I feel. But actually, it's it's like when you just drop a piece of food to somebody who's in the middle of the sea, who's drowning. You give him hope. You just lift him up, and you just hold on. Somebody will help you. And that's how I felt. It was amazing.